Hello, my fellers and folks, and welcome back to another video. What was Disney thinking? Hey guys, so before we start, I'm just gonna address the elephant in the room. I've been kind of silly. Yeah, I know it's been a few months, and I'm sorry. I've been too silly. I enrolled into clown school, so I dropped out, so the silliness is over. Okay? I'm done being silly. So for these past few months, I've kind of felt I've had to top my last video. It's an hour and 30 minutes long, by the way. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Please. Please go watch it. Please go watch it. And that's just silly. And like I said, we're not being silly anymore, okay? So, I'm just going to make a video. And I'm going to just try and keep making videos. I'm gonna ask a bit of a personal question.
Huh?
When you were a little kid, what was your biggest dream? Was it about money? Don't lie to me. You're not perfect. You know it was something about money, okay? I mean, even if it wasn't your biggest dream, you were a bit envious of the rich from time to time, okay? Come on, you can't deny that. And I've come to that realization recently because one of my favorite movies to watch as a kid was 1994's Richie Rich, starring Macaulay Culkin. I mean, like, looking back on that movie is honestly a blast. It's so fun. Like, I rewatched it recently. It's a fun time. I mean, just like Richie Rich, he's the richest kid in the world, and he makes some broke friends. It's true, but I mean, I would have loved to be one of those broke friends and go to his house and ride his roller coaster. I mean, like, come on. But we're not talking about Richie Rich today. And plus, I'm an adult now. I know money. We're talking about another movie that, oddly enough, also came out in 1994, and it's Disney's Blank Check. This was a movie that I also really liked watching when I was little. It's about 11-year-old Preston Waters. After he almost gets hit by some crook's car, the guy writes him a blank check, to which Preston cashes it out at the bank for $1 million. What does Preston do with that $1 million? You'll just have to watch the video. So, this movie's a bit controversial. For some pretty big reasons, I might add. But, so I'll just leave you this warning right now. It's pretty disturbing, but it's just it's more uncomfortable and weird. So, yeah. So I sat down and watched this movie, and, I'll say it again. What was Disney thinking? So I'm just gonna relax and just watch this movie again. Because, it's been a long time. And, yeah. So we're introduced to Preston. And I will say this kid is miserable. His dad is a total cheapskate. And his two older brothers have moved into Preston's room to start their business. Yo, this kid's a loser, bro. And Preston just wants some money. Poor kid just wants a little bit of cheddar. Just a little bit of cheddar. That's all he wants. We're also introduced to Mr. Quigley. He's a bad guy and he stole a lot of money.
Oh, no.
He stole a lot of money. So this whole movie just kicks off. We're not going to talk about the other stuff because it's just boring, okay? We're going to talk about when Preston gets his money. So pretty much this whole movie kicks off by Preston going to the bank because he wants to start a savings account. Preston meets this lady named Shay. She works at the bank, but actually, she's an undercover FBI agent, and she's looking for Mr. Quigley. And Preston is just astonished by this lady. I mean, I don't blame him. That's just 11-year-old shit, okay? Little boys be crushing on grown women. From time to time. It's a little odd, but it's natural, okay? Let's keep it that way. Okay? Disney, let's keep it that way. Okay? While all this is going on, Mr. Quigley is also at the bank, and he's meeting with the big bank owner, Mr. Bitterman, who he blackmails to get untraceable money, and he tells him that he is going to send someone to pick up that money tomorrow.
Long day, we're golf partners.
This guy's evil.
You don't look happy to see me.
He just cut his phone line. So both Preston and Mr. Quigley are leaving at the same time, and Mr. Quigley almost hits him with his car. He's dead. Preston just died. Rest in peace, Preston. So, he goes to write him a check. Mr. Quigley sees some cops, so he's got a dip, and he leaves it a blank check. So what does Preston do with that blank check? He puts $1 million on it. Yeah, this kid's an idiot. Yeah, this kid's stupid. That's never gonna work. But of course, Preston goes to the bank the next day, and he does. And honestly, poor Mr. Bitterman, I don't blame him, because sending a child to pick up $1 million would honestly be a smart idea. Kind of. Not really, but I think it would be a good cover. So Mr. Bitterman assumes that Quigley sent this child to get $1 million, so he gives him the $1 million. And, yeah. So Preston has $1 million. And what does he do with that $1 million? He buys a house. And coincidentally, Mr. Quigley's also trying to buy this house. It's a giant castle, and he's buying it for... Mr. Quigley's buying it for $100,000.
You what?
He's buying this castle for a little over $100,000. And Preston ends up buying it, doing a bid, and he accidentally buys it for $300,000. But he has $1 million, so that's like a third. That's fine.
I have a few errands to run. I'll be back by 2.
200. You did.
Just to be safe. Make that 3.
300? You're killing me on this deal.
But $100,000? Where does blank check take place? Texas. Oh dear Lord. Okay, if it takes place in Texas, low key, this makes sense. Okay, so counting for inflation, he technically bought a house for about $1,500 or $150,000. Okay, this is with the same money that. Oh hell no! You're scamming. You're scamming. Hello? These are better houses than. Okay. So this is pretty much what Preston would have bought then. Technically, is my math right? I'm just freeballing. This is like a last second decision. This is just like it's a long house. It's pretty big. It's pretty big. I'm going down this tangent, right? And I don't know why. I think. Hold on. Yeah. $300,000. Let me draw this out. Is the equivalent that money has almost doubled. 15 or $150,000. So $300,000 now. What then? Right. Is so so essentially this is what this is the same thing he could have been buying. I think that makes sense. And what did he buy? A castle. If you ever have a question about the housing market, just come to me, because I know what's up. I was on that for way too long. So yeah, Preston buys a house for $300,000. So the next day he gets a limo. He gets this new chauffeur. He's a nice guy. He's silly. He's fun. And they just go on a huge shopping spree. Huge. I think these parts of the movies were what I liked as a kid. You know, like if you had $1 million as a kid, I know damn well you're not going to be like, I'll save it. No, you're blowing that shit. At least a majority of it. You're buying silly stuff. You're buying a house. In 1994, you're buying a house. Like you're being silly. You're doing silly shit. So everything that Preston has done so far, everything he's bought, like the house and whatever, he's done it under the name of Mr. Macintosh. And Preston's whole story is that he's working for Mr. Macintosh, and Mr. Macintosh never had a childhood, so he's giving all of it, he's giving that to Preston.
My name is Macintosh.
Yeah, that's his whole cover-up, and it works. So remember Shay from the bank? She works for the FBI. And the money that Preston has is stolen. And Preston is claiming that he works for someone who has this money named Mr. McIntosh. So she assumes that Mr. McIntosh is the person that stole the money. Shay talks to Preston, and Shay offers to take Mr. McIntosh on a date just to talk to him. Mr. McIntosh isn't real. So Preston and Shay go on a date. What was that? Preston and Shay go on a date. Preston and Shay go on a date.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
You could see me watching this movie. I am visibly uncomfortable the entire time. Oh my god.
What's the shortest guy you ever dated?
Ew, don't ask that question. So, you know, stuff happens, whatever. Stop, hold on. We're not. So later on in the movie, Preston's birthday is coming up. And, you know, it'd be reasonable to throw himself a huge party, you know, have all of his friends come and just, you know, have a good time or whatever. He decides to throw a party for him and Mr. McIntosh.
Bruh.
And just invites all of these random people who know Mr. McIntosh isn't real. Why are there so many people at this party for someone they don't know because he's not even real? I know they're not here for Preston because Preston's not even at the party. He sits inside the whole time wallowing over all the money he blew. Oh yeah, he's broke, by the way. He blew all the money. Damn. You got $332 left. Oh no. He hires this expensive party planner. He invites all these people, has all this set up, and he doesn't even have enough money to pay the lady. And as everything is kind of just playing out, I have a few complaints. Preston's dad comes in thinking that he's talking to Mr. McIntosh and asks if Preston can come home early so he can celebrate his birthday with his family. And he just kind of goes away. So this is kind of confusing. So earlier in the movie, Preston's dad walks out of the house. There's just a bunch of trucks everywhere, and they're all unloading stuff like snacks and a water slide into Preston's new house. And Preston's dad is like, "Oh, what's going on? I can't pull out of my driveway. I need to go to work." So Preston makes everyone move and whatever. So we have established that Preston's house is right next to Preston's parents' house. Right? That makes sense. So as this party that is being held at Preston's house, his dad leaves and drives off. And Preston follows and he's like, "Dad, wait! No! Dad! Walk home!" Why? First of all, where's his dad driving to? I mean, if he drove to his house, yeah, whatever. Preston, go home! You don't need to stay there. But as all this is happening, Mr. Quigley and his henchmen, they take this kid and they ask where Preston lives. So they break into Preston's parents' house. Where are his parents? Where are they? I thought they were going to be home to celebrate Preston's birthday. Where did they go? They broke into his house and no one's even home. It's a kid's movie. I understand, you know, continuity doesn't matter. I didn't notice this when I was a kid. But there's also another thing that I didn't notice as a kid. So after everything goes down, you know, the bad guys finally catch Preston. Preston messes with them all silly like. You know, they go through all of his fun little toys and everything, and he ends up defeating them. And Shay comes with the FBI, and they're like, where's Mr. McIntosh? And Mr. Quigley's like, "I'm Mr. McIntosh."
I'm Macintosh.
You're Macintosh?
You're under arrest. What are you talking about? Money laundering.
They arrest Mr. Quigley. that all comes to an end. All the bad guys get arrested. Preston's broke again, and he learned a very valuable life lesson. Money, you can spend a lot of money and have fun. What lesson did he learn? Let me think about this for a second. What lesson did Preston learn? You can spend a lot of money as long as it's not yours. No. Money's like life. It can fly by fast. I don't know. What lesson did he learn? Who cares? There's one thing I care about, though. So after all that happened, Shay and Preston are sitting down. They're sitting down, and, they're talking. She kisses him. She kisses the kid. The 30-year-old woman kisses the 11-year-old boy. 12-year-old boy, I don't know.
Why don't you give me a call in, say, about 10 years?
5.
7,
No!
6.
Whoa!
It's a date.
No way, she just kissed she pre-ordered him and then kissed the 11-year. Pre-ordering is a crazy term, but she said, I'll talk to you in 10 years, and then kissed him, the 11-year-old boy. In the 90s, when this came out, nobody batted an eye. The controversy recently popped up when they added it to Netflix, like a while ago, and kind of more recently Disney Plus. This wasn't like, no one even cared. They were just like, this movie's bad. Rotten Tomatoes, it's not a good movie. Not because there's a woman kissing a minor. And they don't send off the movie on a very high note either. So, Preston goes back home, celebrates his birthday with his family. They're like, make a wish, Preston. And he thinks about his wish for a second. He looks at a picture of Shay, smirks, and then blows out the candle. That's the final scene of the movie.
On the other hand,
What did he wish for? Oh my god. What did this freak wish for? What did this little rat wish for? Okay? When this scene was coming up, I thought he was gonna be like, I thought his wish was gonna be more, rooted around his family and how much he grew to appreciate the company of his family and how much money doesn't matter. No. He was like, when I turn 18, I'm gonna get with this hot babe. Like, what? What are we doing, Disney? What was our... Like I said earlier, I don't care if a 12-year-old boy is like, crushing on an old woman. Don't fantasize that. Don't bring that to the big screen, okay? Oh my god. You know what? Actually, let's read some blank check reviews. Worst movie ever made. The character's a brat. 5 stars. Hold on. Blank Check is one of those delightfully carefree movies that understands exactly what it wants to be and leans all the way in. Yeah, someone leans all the way in for something in this movie. Sometimes movie exists just to make you smile, and that's more than enough. Okay, but what about the woman, the grown adult woman kissing the child? Even if you enjoy a movie, if that is how it ends, you can't give it 5 stars. I'm sorry. It's a warm heartwarming movie. It's a fun movie, whatever. But let's not give kids the idea that it's okay for a grown woman to kiss them, or a grown man at that. Any adult should not kiss a child, even if they especially if they work for the FBI. That's like, I don't know. That's ironic. Absolute fun movie. One of my favorite 90s movies. Popcorn emoji. Gino T, you're on a list. I like it, but why would a kid be rich? That's your complaint? That's your complaint. Okay. It's kinda good. A kid spent $1 million and buys stuff a kid would buy if you gave them money. It's just 90s comedy. Are we not gonna address the elephant in the room? A fully grown woman kissing underage children is a bit much. Thank you, Aaron N. Fist bump. This movie has touched me in ways I cannot describe. Cinematic masterpiece from an anonymous person in 2019. That, I hope that's a joke. I really do. I would do anything for $1 million. I'm amazed that this movie has such poor reviews. My wife and I were pursuing Netflix and found this. We both loved this movie as children. Like, really loved it. I think anyone that gave this movie anything more than 2 stars should be put on a list. I don't think that's too far-fetched. Because I loved this movie as a kid. As all these people are saying, I loved this movie when I was a kid. I loved the 90s. I wasn't born in the 90s, but I watched this movie a lot. Coming back to it, yeah, it has its problems, but there's a pretty big problem that does it for me, significantly. And I think I'm just going to leave it at that. Thank you for watching. I hope you fellers and folks have a wonderful night. Don't watch this. I mean, you can watch it if you want, but I wouldn't advise it. Thank you.